Okay, so we are given a function g of x to be x squared plus 3px plus 14p minus 3 is equals to 0, where p is an integer, and we are told that the function g of x has two equal roots, and we are to find the values of p. So how do we do this? So first thing we have to have in our minds is that the function g of x is a quadratic function because of the term x squared. So if we compare it with the general quadratic expression ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0, you can see that our a will be 1, our b will be 3p, and our c will be this term 14p minus 3. But another interesting thing is that we are told that the function g of x has two equal roots. So how do we comprehend this? So the first thing you're supposed to know is that for every quadratic expression, there's what we call the discriminant. Now, what is the discriminant? The discriminant tells us the nature of the roots of the equation of any quadratic equation. For example, if we have b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, if you compute the coefficients b squared minus 4ac and what we get here will be greater than 0, it tells us that what we're going to get from this quadratic equation is what? Two different roots. Two different roots. So what does that mean? If we plot our values of y against x, our graph is going to cut at two different positions, A and B. That's what it means. Also, if we have b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, we're going to have what we call complex roots. So what does that mean? It means that if we plot a graph of y to x, our graph will not cut the x-axis. So it gives us complex roots. So lastly, if we have b squared minus 4ac is equals to 0, what we're going to have is what? Double roots or equal roots, but they're going to be two in value. So what does it mean? If we plot our y to x, the graph does not cross the x-axis, but it touches the x-axis at a particular point here. So we're going to have two values, but they're the same. So double roots. So if we go back to the equation, we are told that this function has two equal roots. It means that the discriminant for that function will be this: b squared minus 4ac is equals to 0. So we're going to use this to compute for our values here. So what is our b? You can see our b is 3p. So b squared will be what? 3p squared. Then minus 4. What's our a? Our a is 1, the coefficient. And what's our c? Our c is what? 14p minus 3, then equals to 0. So we have to simplify this to get our p. So now, if we do this, the square is affecting everything inside the bracket, so it becomes 9p squared. Then we have minus 4. 4 times 1 is 4 into 14p minus 3 is equals to 0. So we expand further, it becomes 9p squared minus 4 times 14p will give us minus 56p. Then minus 4 times minus 3 will give us plus 12 is equals to 0. Now we factorize. Now in this time, our p is not 1. So what do? Factorization, we multiply the coefficient of the first term and the last term, which is 9 times 12 to give us 108. So now we're going to find the factors of 108 that when we add them, it gives us what? Minus 56. And when we multiply them, it gives us 108. So what are these numbers? They are what? 2 and 54. Now if we adjust our signs, it becomes minus 2 minus 54. So you can see minus 2 plus minus 54 will give us minus 56. But minus 2 times minus 54 will give us 108. So we can substitute this for minus 56 in this equation. Is that okay? So what do we have next? So what we're going to have is, we'll write back our equation, 9p squared, then minus 2p minus 54p, then plus 12 is equals to 0. Then we factorize this expression. What is common between 9p squared and 2p? It is what? P. Then you have 9p, because you have taken the p out, minus 2. Good. Then what is common between this expression is what? Minus 6. Now you have what? 9p minus 2 is equals to 0. So when you are factorizing and the brackets are equal, the terms of the bracket are equal, then you have done the right factorization. Now we can now compute. We have what? P minus 6, 9p minus 2 is equals to 0. So we have p minus 6 is equals to 0, or 9p minus 2 is equals to 0. So p is equals to 6, or what? P is equals to, when you take 2 here, you divide by 9, you have 2 over 9. So the values of p that makes this expression to have 2 equal roots are what? P is equals to 6, or p is equals to what? 2 over 9. So these are your final answer.